Hey guys, I'm Ralph. I'm a maker, and today we're going to look at how to set up a membership, basically a subscription product with Outseta and Card. And then we'll also look at using SurveyMonkey to do a bit of scoring with a quiz to set up some logic that applies to the subscriptions. So let's dive in. Okay, perfect. So we're going to start out with the details in terms of the calculations for carbon. All right, so what I've done here is you can find any basic ones online, right? Let me pull this up. For example, this one is Ren. This is a popular company that went through YC, and they have a little calculator, right? So you'll find these calculators all over the internet, but if you search for any type of carbon calculator, you can find them. So once you come into here, you do obviously all these details, right? But what you can see is essentially how your answers change this total number, right, per year tons into CO2 equivalent. So based off of your flights, based off of diet, based off of how you travel for work, and some of your spending as well. This really gives a pretty good range of where you're going to fall within kind of an annual basis of how many tons. And these calculators are all over the internet. So what I've done is I've actually gone ahead and broken this out and backwards engineered what are the effects of each of these options based off of food, based off of your type of car that you use, vehicle, and any flights that you take throughout the year. So once we have that, we have a good breakdown of whatever you choose. What is going to be your total tons per year? And this is, again, like I said, this is going to be a good little range that is pretty sufficient for what we're looking at. Because, for example, if we're just going to buy 1 ton of carbon, that is about 7 USD. So just 1 ton of carbon here, 7 USD. So if you're thinking about that for, a full year, this is only 0.5. You're looking at just $3.50 per month to offset completely your lifestyle. That's definitely a monthly fee people are happy to go with. So what we're going to do is, now that we have this breakdown, and I'll be able to post this up so anybody can use it, what we want to do is do a workflow for the user similar to what Ren has, right? Of them choosing those options to get to their final calculation. So I went with SurveyMonkey, actually. Okay, so why did I go with SurveyMonkey? I typically like Typeform for these type of information gathering, or even Airtable forms, because then obviously with Airtable forms, it's the quickest way to essentially get the data from the user and then into an Airtable that can be then used further down the line. However, for this particular reason, I liked SurveyMonkey for their type of kind of coding out of the results based off of a score. And then that allows us to actually create this type of scoring effect and give us a total of tons for the user in their free tier. I mean, obviously you can do a bit more of that with Typeform's paid for tiers. So maybe an option. However, this is just the best way to go about it to get this MVP going. So what we've done here is for each of these questions, there's only the three broken out ones here, right? We have food, car, and flight. Again, like I said, just with these three questions, you can get to a really good kind of general base where it's going to be somebody who's on the lower end, doing no beef or light meat, who's not driving and who's not flying, is going to have quite a small payment in terms of offsetting their carbon per month. Then you have on the high end of the spectrum is not going to be huge, to be honest. It's still going to be within around $10 per month. But main reason of that is being that we will limit the amount of total flights within this kind of calculation. That's really where the kicker comes, where you'll see much higher monthly offsets required. But anyways, I could go back to this, right? You can put in for each question based off of the multiple choice. You can assign a point value, right? And so what we've done here is this on the Excel is, or the Google Sheet is 4.6, but we're just doing it, a little bit more because this doesn't include decimals, right? Just the times 10 here. So we're doing this for each for the diet, for the transportation, and for short flights. So once we have that going, this would be, this is kind of our logic of the app setup, right? So what I'm going to start with next is with the front end in our kind of where the user is going to get access to this and kind of interact further. Okay, so for this, we're going to be using Card, CARRD. I'm a huge fan of Card. I love Webflow as well. However, this is just even more simplified in terms of setting something up with Card, and it's cheaper. It's way cheaper in terms of like a monthly versus a full annual contract with Card. And so, yeah, let's just dive in here. Let's do a new site. I was kind of taking a look at these, obviously play around what you feel like the best setup. However, I felt like this one was a good one in the sense that how we set this up is to do a bit of a kind of intro. Then you go into doing the kind of quiz in terms of what is your carbon impact, and then you can go into choosing which membership you want to sign up for the monthly offsetting. So let's choose this. Cool. So this one is and what we can do here is just to get a lot of functionality of Card is just all this embedding, right? So we're going to embed inline here. Inline, and then if we go to SurveyMonkey, we want this is your embedded survey here. Copy that. All we have to do is place it into this code area. We just want to make sure it's in line so that we know it's going to show up there. Paste that in. Done. So the thing with the card though, it won't show up immediately. You have to see it in the preview. So what I'm going to do here, I'll delete these. Also, it will ask for images before I preview. So let's delete the images. What's your impact? And then let's just have a So just assurance to the user that we will do a little bit over, if anything. Again, that's only going to be a few cents, just to assure that the user is carbon neutral each month. And cool, let's just take a look at this. See what we have going here. Let's do your impact. That'll look great. Checking out. Cool, we'll do a title here. And there's a little bit of motion, but don't even need it. What's your impact? Cool, impact type. Let's just do it really quick here. Great. So 68%. What we'll do is these are, if you remember, this is the tonnage, right? So that's 6.6 tons. And so what we'll do is we'll have the separate plans based off of a range of tons, right? So you'll just make sure that we're within that range. But that's it. We can do a bit more information here around the projects, stuff like that. So let me get out of this and show you now what we're going to use to set up the plans, handle all the subscription, handle the kind of login and log out authentication so that if a user needs to cancel, they can do that easily as well. And this is with a different no-code platform called Outseta. So if you're familiar with no-code, ton of options here in terms of kind of memberships and also subscriptions. I looked over a couple of different ones. Gumroad was up there as well, just because they have a really nice, easy way of just like putting that together in terms of membership and allowing the user to get in and out, subscribe, unsubscribe. They do have a little bit more limitation around the user interface, obviously. So Outseta has a good breakdown between both of those, whether it's customization of the UI and easy setup. But then I also really like a couple of these actually additional features in here where it's a bit more like emailing out to your users and CRM around just understanding that your user base a little bit more. So I'm definitely liking this product a lot. Little plug for them, unpaid plug, obviously. But if we look at this, you can now see also all of your embeds. So head script, we have to put this in to card. So you can put this anywhere in card if it's just like a header or footer, if it doesn't need to be like in line right here, right? It just said in that page that we need to be on each page that we have for the website. So let's add up here. Just put it at the top there. So we don't want inline, we want hidden. And then as it's stated, we want it in the header. So what I'll do is I'll show you sign up as well. So this automatically is coming in as a view from the plans section, right? So the plans I made is 3 different options. And we go back to authentication embeds, sign up. That's where you'll see the options to choose the plans, right? And then also there's different ways you can customize design a bit and stuff. What we'll do is we'll set up everything first, and then we'll go back and just make sure all the design is in line, as well as the SurveyMonkey color, the card page, and the Outseta UI here. So here it is. So this one we want to have in line. So we want to come back down here to in plan box, embed, inline, boom. Let's take a look. Save that, publish changes. Look at that. Already here. This is pretty nice actually how it looks in line. So even when selecting, you can start interacting right here. They have an option, you can do this as a pop-up as well, like a little modal. But this actually looks pretty slick right here in on this modal itself. So you can do the monthly, annual, or annually. And then that's when you do the login, and then also further your payment methods. So perfect. We got that set up. Let's now add the login as well, just so, and profile, just so if we already have a user that's subscribed, and they need to unsubscribe, or maybe they've changed their behavior, their diet or something, and want to come down to a lower subscription, or vice versa. Obviously, we can have this in there for them, so they can just self-serve, go in there and update the preferences. Okay, so on this Outseta profile section, we can do on a page. You could definitely do that in card. You can do separate pages. What I want to do is just as a pop-up for the user to interact with their profile. I want to have profile, so that allows them to do their email and update password. We don't need account. This is further detail that we just need to simplify this and don't need team. We're not going to do kind of a team member plan on this, but this is awesome that they have this feature actually. And plan we do want. So that's really as simple as we want to get it, just the user profile and the plan, so they can interact with those. And as a pop-up, here we go, perfect. So in terms of pop-up, we need two items here. We have the first, the script item inline, or as a header, sorry. And this is a good call here. Look, they show us anyways, right? So go back to here, okay. We already have our one header, and instead of to keep it a little bit more organized, and we could add it into this one, but let's just make a separate one. Hidden header, and we can label this just to make sure we remember which one is which if we need to come into it. This one is profile. And then we need to trigger somewhere. So we might just put it here just so it's, if somebody's coming back through and they don't need to go through this process any further, we can just allow them to view profile. So let's add a button. Okay, too much time spent on that. So let's just have it here. I don't know if I'm excited about that. We could do kind of upper right corner or something, obviously. Um, However, let's just keep it here now for functionality, and we'll do a bit more design later down the road. Now, what we do is here allows us to do a URL for that button. And again, Outseta gave us that here. Let's copy that and put it in here. Awesome. Let's see what happens when we do that. All right, cool. So based off the header logic, it's not showing up, and I'm assuming because we're now logged in, right? So we need to add our login option. Again, as the on a page or as a pop-up. Let's do it as a pop-up here. Another header. Copy that. Label this as login hidden header. Let's change this one to general. And then again, we need the login pop-up trigger. So let's just put it next to here. Duplicate this. I just pasted in that one that we had from Outseta. Done. Let's see what that gives us now. You can either click view site each time or just refresh this page once you hit the publish. Sweet. So now we have the login. And there's the pop-up. Looks pretty nice. I'm not going to log in because we don't have user yet. So how does it look if we exit? It's fine. Great. We just need to center this a bit. We need to show the user, what plan to select based off of their score. And we need to add a little bit more detail kind of in the bottom here, maybe just around what our projects are and what we stand for here. Once we have that, I'll put in some dummy data here, and then I'll show you how it looks on Outseta here if we have users, and then how we would go about doing, a very much not too scrappy, but a way of doing things a little bit manually to get us this really solid MVP for an app. Basically the same app that was brought into YC. So pretty interesting in that regard. So be right back. Okay, so here we are. Change the background a bit. A little bit more earth effect with nice color. And we come down. What is your impact? Or easy question to determine your carbon footprint. Select your plan. If you scored, and these are the different ranges, right? That we determine in terms of the tonnage, what plan to select. So again, I'll show you vegetarian, no car, and I'll put down 2 here per year just to have it covered. What does that bring us to? 57 out of 96. So we're going to go with plan C. So we select this, and I'll show you. I've gone through this process and actually, signed up. And after this, you do sign up and then enter your card details, and then you're sorted. And now what I want to show you is the user functionality once they've already signed up for one of the plans. So we can log in. And we can view profile. So now we have the profile. We can update email and password. We can view the plan that we're signed up with and edit that plan or cancel subscription, and even update our billing as well. So, quite a good functionality in terms of user create, read, update, delete of subscriptions, and all self-serve for them. Super simple to set up. And lastly, threw in this bit of add-on for a chat pop-up. This is on Outseta as well within your plan. So definitely a good tool. Outseta. It configures really well with card. Definitely recommended trying that out for any kind of membership subscription type products. And now for the final bit in terms of this service, we have the users signed up, they've connected and subscribed for a certain amount of carbon they want to do each month. And we now have them on here on Outseta. So what we want to do is be able to, on the month, be able to buy and bulk the, based off of the total amount of users in each plan. And we can break that down with our CRM. We can see accounts, and we can see it by segment, right? By plan A, by plan B, and by plan C. Get a little total of that and make our carbon purchase for the users. And then we can broadcast that to them through here. So all we do is create a broadcast and choose for each one of the members, because that broadcast and email is going to be specific to how much carbon they offset within their plan. So that's it. That's a no code and kind of scrap away to get started with this MVP, but it truly is, a software, as a service type product that was built in, quite a quick time. You can go out this and create it and test it out and get some iteration feedback from people. So hope you enjoy. Hope you make something cool like this, and good luck out there.